Yo, what up, guys? It's been a minute, but we're back. Gonna do a shop talk episode, talk about what's been going on, what I've been up to. So here we go. All right, so it's been, I don't know, week and a half since I put out a video. Just been busy. Last week I had a kitchen I had to push and kind of get out the door for install, and then my boys had a baseball tournament this past weekend, and then I had to get back for church on Sunday. It was just crazy week last week, so the video making kind of got put to the side. So I didn't make a video on building the cabinets for the kitchen that I made all those doors for a couple weeks ago. And unfortunately, I didn't do an install video either because I've got my buddy Greg in the field. He installed everything. So just didn't really work out this time. On the next one, when we have a little bit more time and that I'm actually installing, maybe with Greg or something like that, I will definitely film and make a video on the install. However, I do still have a bunch of cabinets to make in here, which I'm going to do tomorrow, and we'll do a detailed install video on that as well. I'll make them just like I would my kitchen cabinets, and that way I can show you kind of my install process and how we do it. What we're doing now, after the last couple full house packages that I did that kind of ended over the last couple months, they're both for the same builder. A lot of my work comes from one builder, and then I do work directly with homeowners and stuff as well. But after these full house packages that we did, we decided we're changing things up a little bit with how we deliver and install. So typically I would deliver the boxes with doors hung, drawers in, drawer fronts on, ready to go. And I've always done it that way. I know other guys do it differently, and I'm going to start doing it differently as well, because there was just, after these last two projects, there was so many touch-ups and stuff to go back and do. If you guys are in the trades or in the cabinet making thing, you know, other trades they don't seem to care. So a lot of stuff got scratched up. Guys, electricians leaning into the kitchen cabinets, putting, you know, light fixtures on the counter and stuff like that, and scratching up stuff, and it just leaves a lot of opportunity for things to get messed up. So what we're doing now, we're going to put boxes in, fillers, toe kicks, we'll do all that stuff, and then at the very end of the job I'll put the drawers and drawer fronts on, and I'll hang the doors, so that this way we're kind of limiting the amount of damage that can be done. Obviously there still can be things that can happen, but I'm gonna, basically what I'm doing is I'm fitting everything here, the drawer fronts, the doors, I'm hanging the doors and everything here, taking them off, and then I'll paint them and keep them here. And then after counters are done and the job is basically done, I'll go and put all that stuff on. So that's what we're doing. This is the first kitchen that we're doing that with, and I think it's going to be good. It'll definitely make me worry less, because even when we're installing, when I would deliver a kitchen with the doors on it and the drawers and drawer fronts in, either when I'm installing it or Greg or whoever, like, things happen, like all the boxes, the drawer boxes have to come out, the doors, you take the doors off anyways, and lean them up against the wall or whatever, and it just leaves a lot of room for things to get damaged. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be fine. He got basically all the boxes in and fillers in the last 2 days, so now we'll just wait for countertop templating. There's some floor patching they have to do over there, and then when we go back to I'll try and make a video when we go back and put all the doors and drawer fronts on, kind of show you guys that job. But that is the job that I made all those doors for a couple weeks ago that you guys saw the video. So all that being said, I haven't spent a ton of time working on the shop because I needed to get that job done. And so tomorrow I plan on taking the day and resetting in here and focusing on miter saw station, some cabinets over there for the line boring machine. Probably won't get it all done tomorrow, but I want to get a bulk of it done before I jump into the next project. I also have a bunch more stuff in here than I did a couple weeks ago because I went to the old shop and did the final clean out over there, threw a bunch of stuff out, and I still ended up bringing a bunch of stuff back here of tools and stuff that I've had that I have in my marketplace. I'm trying to sell a bunch of stuff, but so there's a bunch of stuff in here right now that is honestly just kind of in my way. But hopefully somebody will buy it. I've got a couple generators. I've got a bunch of framing nails and framing nail guns and an older Hitachi saw. Not a super old Hitachi saw. If it was one of the really old ones, I would keep it. But it's just, I'm never going to use it. So a bunch of stuff I'm trying to sell. And then another thing I brought over was the plywood rack from the old shop. I did not plan on using it in here. I just thought it was going to take up too much space. First of all, it was too tall, but it was only a couple inches too tall, so I was able to cut off a couple inches off the top to stand it up in here. And I think it's going to work out good. I wanted it for storage, not even so much for plywood storage. I have one rack that I will use for sheet goods, but I'm still going to use the vertical rack in here. And I'll show you, you can see the bottom of this. It's all the open shelving at the bottom, and that's where I'll keep my install stuff. So it's obviously a little further away from the bay door. Originally I had planned to keep all my install stuff right by the door, but with the plywood rack and how the door opens and everything, and it would stick into the doorway, I decided to move it all the way back here. So I have to walk 15 more feet to load my install stuff into the van. But now I can have all that under there. I've got the racks for shelving and storage. I've got my vertical rack I actually moved over. So that's there. Obviously, I left myself like 2 feet of space in between the racks, and that'll be for cutoffs. And then the rest of this whole area over here where the camera is miter saw station. So I think this is going to be good use of space. I'm actually pretty stoked about having this thing in here. I don't know why I was thinking I was not going to use it. I was going to just sell it, but I think it's going to be good. And like I said, a bunch of this stuff I'm trying to get rid of, all these old tools, so this will be definitely more organized. And then when I build this miter saw station, that's going to give me a ton of cabinetry and storage space in there, and then as well with the line boring cabinets over there. So a lot of this stuff will get put away. Trying to like put stuff away and get things off the ground and onto shelves as much as I can. There's still a lot of organizing that needs to happen. Still trying to get rid of that joiner. Hopefully somebody buys that soon, because for now I have to move it to the other side of the shop so I can build the miter saw station here because it's in the way. And then the other thing I need to figure out is my compressor and where I'm going to put it. Because right now I have my smaller Husky compressor that I've been using with the edge bander, and it works fine. It just turns on a lot, but I need to get my big one hooked up. And like I said, I don't know where I'm going to put it because I basically need it mostly for the edge bander, but I've also got some other stuff coming which I'm pretty excited about. If you guys know Dino and the vac pad and his whole pneumatic systems and stuff that he has, got some cool stuff coming up. But so I'm going to need airlines for that on that side of the shop. So wherever I put it, I'm going to have to run an airline to either that side or from that side to that side. So still trying to figure that out. I think after the next couple of days, when I get these other workbenches built in and more things put away and organized, I'll have a better idea of where I really want to put that thing. So anyways, a couple weeks ago, I did a thing on Instagram and you guys asked a bunch of questions. I'll try and answer some of those. I'm not going to get to all of them. I'll try, like I said, I'll try and do one of these videos every week or every other week or whatever, the shop talk ones, and answer questions. Also, the weather here has been super nice. It's like 70 something degrees today. It's officially Crocs in the shop weather, but I think it's like going back to winter this weekend. Probably be skiing some POW next week. It looks like we've got a storm coming, but it has been really nice working in here with the door open, view of the mountains, and it's just so nice because my other shop obviously didn't really have any windows and it was like a dungeon in there. But some interesting questions. Some of them will require a longer answer than others. So, you like the Grizzly slider? Yes, I like that thing. It's I've had it for 3 years now. Yeah, it's been great for me. It's 5/4. I can only cross cut up to 60 inches wide, so I can't like rip a full sheet on it. So I do all my ripping on my regular table saw and then cross cutting on that. I don't abuse it, I guess, but no, it's been really good. Just check it for square every so often, you know, things can move or whatever, but I've been super happy with it. My plan eventually is to upgrade to a full-size slider. I've looked at a lot of different brands. So when I do make the upgrade to that, I plan on buying a saw that I'll have for the rest of my life. And if you guys have looked at full-size sliders, not the cheap ones, more expensive ones, you know they're not cheap, they're expensive. But no, for me, that thing has been solid. Would definitely recommend it for smaller one-man type shops, especially if you don't have the space. That's why I originally bought it, was because I used to do all my cross cutting with a giant sled on the regular saw. So I would rip everything, then put the sled on and cross cut it, and it worked fine. But you'd be moving the sled up and down all day, and then it's just just kind of a pain using the sled. So that's why I got this, but I was limited in space that I had, so that's why I had to get the smaller one. What temp and humidity do you need to have for a cabinet shop? Uh, I mean, in my shop here, is the temperature is pretty consistent and nice in here, and it's very dry. My shop in Connecticut was in my 2-car garage, and it was always super damp and super humid in there, and it wasn't heated and I didn't have AC in the summer. So, I mean, and even the shop I used to work in, the high-end, big, like super nice shop, they had AC and stuff, but they didn't turn it on in the summer, and it was hot and humid in there. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you can really do it as long as you're not making cabinets out in the rain. I mean, you just have to be aware of wood movement and stuff like that. What's your next upgrade going to be for the shop? Honestly, my next big upgrade will probably be a full-size slider, and that's not coming anytime soon. Maybe towards the end of this year, but as of right now, I feel pretty comfortable with everything I have, unless something like breaks. But do you find that the Gemini sprays a little funky out of the Graco X5? No, not at all. I just sprayed a bunch of stuff for that kitchen, all the end panels and everything. And man, I'm like super, super impressed. I'll do a video on that, on my whole process. But no, I've been using the X5 pumps for years. I use a 311 tip on them, and with that Gemini, I am super impressed with that stuff. It is really, really nice. What's your average job size now? What's the estimated completion time versus actual? It all depends. I just did, I hate to put, I don't want to, you know, well, all right, I guess I can say numbers. Like one of the houses we just did last year, you know, you're talking $125,000 in cabinets, right? But then I just also did a little built-in last weekend that was like less than 5,000. So I do all different size jobs, right? And time completion is tough. Last year, what really hurt me was having those big jobs and taking on smaller jobs in between. And because you think like, oh, that job will only take me a week, I can crank it out in the minute, whatever. And then it always just kind of messes everything up. So I don't really plan on doing that anymore. Like I have a couple bigger jobs lined up this year that when those are going, I want to just be focused on those. Obviously things happen, and things come up and might not always work out, but that's what I'm really trying for. Time completion, there's always delays. Like the kitchen that we just installed, that was supposed to be installed weeks ago. And then there were delays with, and it's a good thing because this all took a little bit longer. There were delays with drywallers and painters and everything, so we couldn't get in there till this week. Timelines are always tough, especially on the bigger projects. When you start it and they say, okay, we need cabinets to be ready for install in 2 months on this day, it's almost always going to be pushed back, at least in my experience. Not because of me, I'm saying because of other trades, and things just happen on big jobs. What is the square footage of the new shop? The new shop, including the spray room, I think is like just about 2,000 square feet. My old shop, I had about, with the 2 spaces, I had like 2,400 square feet. However, the layout was really bad. It was like those 2 narrow spaces, where this being one big open square, I feel like I have way more room in here. So this is definitely a more efficient use of space. So very happy with this space. Oh, and then the next one, with a larger shop now, what are you focusing on to take you to the next level of efficiency quality? So like I just said, this shop is actually smaller, but the whole layout of this space being all open and I can have kind of a good workflow is a way more efficient use of the space. And as far as taking me to the next level, for me, I think that looks like, being able to, because I'm not trying to hire a bunch of people and have a huge big shop. I'm not. I would like to have a full-time employee, a helper that I can kind of train up, and that's really about as far as I want to go. The more guys you hire, you can do more work, but there's going to be a lot of stress there. This is already stressful enough. So for me, I guess I want to focus more on the quality of my work and putting out a better product. I always want to be getting better. Being able to charge enough where I don't feel like I need to take on so much work to make what I want to make, and then just be stressed out trying to get it all done on time, because then quality actually goes down when you're just trying to get stuff done really fast. Being able to just work with the right clients and builders and do nice jobs, Would you rather have a single larger slider or the dual setup? So even when I get the larger slider, I'll still keep my regular table saw. I feel like I would always want a regular saw. I'll probably, because I have the fence, like the 52-inch, it can come all the way over. I'll probably cut that down and make this smaller, mostly for miters, because it tilts to the left. On the slider, it tilts to the right. So I definitely would want to have both. And then I would just put this off to the side somewhere. But I would always like to have a regular table saw in the shop. First big machine purchase. I remember I bought a long time ago a rigid, I don't even remember what it was, but it had like the granite top on it. It was not like, it was on wheels, you could move it around, but it wasn't like a contractor saw. It was heavy. But I bought it on Craigslist, I think for like $300 or something. And I remember when I bought that, I was like, dude, this is sick. But that was way before I was even close to going off on my own. But this Grizzly cabinet saw was probably my first big purchase. At the time, it was a big purchase. It was $2,000, and at the time, yeah, that was a big purchase. And that saw's been a beast. 3 horsepower. I've put that thing to work. Like, I really like that saw. Who's your favorite cabinet designer? Well, Matt Moore, of course. Matt Moore is the man. Matt Moore, if you're not following him on Instagram, go follow him, because he's a cool dude. He's down in Florida, but Matt has been doing all my cabinet drawings for years. He uses, every time I post a cabinet picture of like a drawing on Instagram, a million questions. What program do you use? What program is that? So Matt uses Chief Architect. He does all my drawings. That's one of the things that I never learned how to do it, and I've always wanted to, but it's one of those things where I've always been like, I barely have enough time to do all the things I'm doing right now, so how am I going to do that? We've been working together for, I don't know, maybe almost 3 years now. And he understands how I build. He has like cabinet maker mind, so discussing things with him, and he's super helpful if I come at him with an idea or what the client wants, and sometimes he's like, bro, that's not going to work, you know. So it's just it's good. It's a good working relationship, and plus he's a cool dude and he does really good drawings. Being a one-man shop, do you install everything? Do you get help, or would you hire a second hand? I don't install everything. If I didn't have to install anything, I would not, but it's part of the game. Sometimes I have to. I do have a guy, Greg, who is really good carpenter, really good installer. He understands how I build. I've been working with him now for a couple years as well. He understands how I build and how my stuff goes together, and like I said, he's just really good. He does really nice work. So, but he also works for a bunch of other builders and stuff like that, so he's not always available. So I would like to find to get another guy or somebody else that, if Greg's not available, that I could trust to put out there. And I would never, like, even with Greg, the first job he did for me, you know, because I didn't know him. I saw pictures of his work on Instagram and stuff like that. But so we did a job together, and like we got there, I brought all the cabinets, told him what was going on, and he just kind of took off, and I was like, okay, this dude knows what he's doing. So it would definitely, when I do hopefully find somebody, it'll be like one of those things. I'll have them help me with a job, or even have them help Greg, you know, because Greg could tell right away too, oh, this guy knows what he's doing or he doesn't, before I just give them a project to go out and install on their own. Framed or frameless cabinets. I mean, I would build inset cabinets all day if I could, but out here, there are inset jobs, but I've never done one in Oregon. I've done one and shipped it back to New York from Oregon, but I've never done one here. I've been in a few houses that had inset stuff, but most of what I do and what people are doing around here is Euro style. I've never really done face frame overlay. To me, if you're doing face frame overlay, you might as well just do inset, because you're building the doors and you're building the face frame. Like, why wouldn't you just make it inset? But yeah, if I had my choice, it would be inset for sure. It's just nicer, it's fun, it's more work obviously, but like there's nothing like a nice inset job, you know. But we've had to adapt since we've been here. Back east, I definitely did a lot more inset stuff. But yeah, that's just a part of the game. Can you go through your install kits? Yes, I will. Kind of once I get more organized. I've got to actually go through it all, because over the last couple of jobs I haven't really, you know, at the end of a job you just kind of throw everything in the van and then throw it back on the shelf. I need to kind of go through and organize some stuff, but I definitely will show you guys what I carry with me to an install. I think that's it. I think I answered most of your questions. What is your favorite thing to build? What item are you most proud of that you built? Favorite thing to build, honestly, is probably like just a nice inset vanity, something like that, because they're kind of quick and satisfying to make. But item that I'm most proud of that I built, to be honest, I don't really know. Like, I don't really know. I did a couple inset kitchens back in New York that were really fun. I would have to, actually, those furniture pieces I built last year for my house, with the quarter sawn white oak with the glass doors and the tapered face frames and end panels and stuff. Those are pretty fun. It's fun to build furniture pieces like that. But it's weird, like even like one of the houses that we just completed, or both of them really, but one of them had like this dark stain grade oak island and everything, and the house was such a mess for a while after we installed it, you know, while other trades were in there. But going in after, like after the people moved in, and just seeing everything all cleaned up, and like you walk through and you're like, oh damn, like I made all this. So that's pretty cool. It's always fun to see the project in that state at the very end when everything's clean and looking really nice. And but yeah, the thing I'm most proud of, nothing really is jumping out to me at the moment. Can you and the boys, oh, this is from Sam Green. Can you and the boys kickflip? Those dudes look like they got a kickflip for sure. No, the boys actually used to skateboard a little bit, but now we ski a lot. They've gotten really good at skiing. And then, like they play baseball and stuff, but they haven't really gone after skateboarding much. I actually, growing up, I was a rollerblader, a fruit booter, whatever, and I used to do that a lot. That was like my thing. No, I never was really into skateboarding. I do love to ski. Skiing is super fun. No kickflips from us, Sam Green. How do you figure pricing your work estimating? I hate answering this because I don't have a good answer. I'm still learning today, and I've been in business for almost 6 years. So I don't have a good answer for you. Sorry. That's all I got for you guys today. Tomorrow I'm going to start filming the miter saw station video, and then I'll make another video for the cabinet over there. Get this place a little bit more in order. Just chipping away at it. It has been super nice to be in this space, and the workflow and everything. It's just really, really nice. Still haven't gotten the spray booth. I obviously have been spraying in there, but I don't have the spray booth. It should be any day that I get the email saying they're shipping it. So definitely we'll be doing a video on that when it comes in. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have questions, leave them below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you on the next one.